Welcome to another episode of Live and Loud with me, Gesanta Bader. And I always go on about supporting small businesses, but so now we're going to a big business who's supporting small businesses. And how liquor is it that we're both double jabbed for now?
Yeah.
I've got extra immunity because I've had that journey with COVID. But I've got Lance Witten with me in studio. He's the Chief Content Officer.
Chief Audience Officer.
Audience Officer for independent media, but looks after a
IRL.
whole bunch of things, but
And,
IRL is the big one. Now, you've created this hyper-local community where you want to link opportunities with businesses, small businesses. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, as a big business, as a major platform, one of the biggest news organizations in the country, we saw how people were suffering and really sickling as a result of COVID. People had lost their jobs. Many people have been forced to pivot their businesses. I know personally of friends of mine who'd been retrenched as a result of the impact that COVID has had. And they were forced to start making biryani in their own kitchen and selling that out. Now, while people have the ability, and you've got your networks, I know, Gesant, whenever your mom cooks a roti, I'm there, I try and support her as much as I can.
The famous Mama Weir rotis.
And, but people like this don't always have, these kitchen industries don't always have the marketing capabilities to tell people about it. So what we decided to do was build a platform for small businesses, food businesses specifically for now, to just support them.
What's it called?
It's called Eat Local.
Okay.
So basically,
it's
it's eatlocal.org.za, and basically it is an absolutely free listing platform.
Oh, nice.
Anybody
watching the show
Yeah.
can get into contact on that URL. There'll be contact details, and they can list their
Absolutely.
business.
So you
with
do
images.
it all yourself. Images, you can upload your
So
menu,
cool.
you can put a YouTube video in there, whatever you
Potential
want to do.
audience?
Absolutely anybody. We are countrywide. We've got.
So you're talking about millions here?
Yeah, we're talking about million. Oh, for IRL, you're looking at about 30 odd million people who will be seeing this content.
Hopefully your biryani can get to travel. If it can go onto a morning flight, it can reach a business meeting by 1 p.m.
No, of course. You know what's great is that we've built the website with such great location functionality and such great geotagging functionality that somebody who is based in Kenwyn can say, I only service Kenwyn and surrounds. And then that's where your business is based. If you only service Sunlands, or if you only service Parktown in Joburg, then you can say that, and it will, so that people in your area, and you can also obviously go, yes, find me a business within a 30-kilometer radius, and it will serve you up that.
And obviously we're going to put the details right here somewhere, I think. I hope my alignment is right, but it's eatlocal.org.za. Now, Lance Witten, tell me, we've all been through lockdown, right? And you got into a baking and a cooking thing for the Instagram, right? But sometimes we just don't smack.
Yeah.
You come home from work, you don't feel like cooking. So how ideal is this? To just go on there and the world's your oyster as a member of the audience.
It is absolutely right. It's so easy. It's so easy. So a friend of ours has a ticker business, right?
Yeah.
And he was one of the first to list his business on eatlocal.org.za. Ticker to go, that's the one. And he was the first to list his business on eatlocal.org.za. And his food is so lekker, and it comes hot, and it comes fresh.
He delivers it himself.
And he delivers it himself. And what's so amazing, when I told him about the platform, and he said, no, cool, he's really looking forward to it. After he listed his business, he said to me, he may even need to hire more people. So it's an opportunity to create jobs as well for other people.
And jobs.
Exactly. And that's really what this is all about. It's a community initiative. We don't want to get into it for any sort of monetary reward. We are just doing it to support small local businesses.
Okay, now the director and the producer of the show always tells me, stop bringing in food, because while I love it, we know that small business is more than just food and tikka businesses and stuff. Is there a plan to expand the business? I had a look at a guy yesterday who does these metallic decals on walls for your studio and that, and he's got an incredible business. He's doing work for the Two Oceans Marathon where he's exhibiting this week. And I'd like to feature him on the show as well. But is there a plan to extend different types of businesses, and would it live under this umbrella, or separate kind of?
No, absolutely. It's the same kind of theme that's running through. It won't be the same platform. What we're looking to do is actually broaden IOL's umbrella so that IOL becomes the home for all of these things.
Yeah.
But you're looking at support local, where we want to support local businesses. You're looking at think local, where we're looking at supporting graphics designers, screenwriters.
Yeah.
Just hooking people up. Like, maybe you need a video editor for 3 hours in a day, that you can find somebody
100%.
there.
Now, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Lance Witten, he's a hell of a footballer as well, I promise. But here's an amazing opportunity for anybody watching to get their business listed and expand their customer base. Thanks for joining us on the show, Lance.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
It's Live and Loud and the news with me, Tabada. So I'm going to speak a little bit faster now because there's a load shedding coming. And if you know Eskom, there is one thing that they're certain about, and that's the punctuality of the load shedding schedule. So I recently downloaded an app called Eskom Push, and I'm glad that I said that properly. It's on your phone and it shows you when the load shedding schedule is. I mean, in 2021, we're still doing these things, you know. So on that point, I mean, we're talking about small businesses. That's the theme of the show this week. So how devastating is load shedding on small businesses? So your client is waiting for something, and then you have to factor in 2 hours of waiting, and ultimately your turnaround time is going to be affected by that. So it hits small businesses on their bottom lines, and that is devastating for an economy that has really been devastated by COVID and the lockdown. We don't deserve this, and ironically, it's happening on the eve of an election. So for all that the ANC has been saying that they want to do things better, guys, you've had 27 years to do this. We said that last week. They're almost oblivious to the fact that there's an election and campaigning going on, and they're still load shedding us. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like for President Cyril Ramaphosa. I mean, you've got an election coming up. You're the ANC. You're trying to self-correct. And then you've got load shedding a few days before an election. Eskom, man. Can you see now? For Live and Loud News, I'm Tabada. Today in the blind test segment, I'm going to do something a little bit different to help you enhance your marketing offering for your small business. So everybody has a tiny budget set aside for marketing. Otherwise, how are you going to let folks know out there about your products and your services? So we heard Lance is offering this free listing to small businesses. So how can you give him content that's going to make you stand out from the crowd? So I've got a few tools here that I've acquired, some cheaply, others I had to save for, but nothing that's going to break the bank, you know. And some of these you can get at Chinatown, others speciality photo and video stores, and even Takealot. So you can create amazing content using just this, your smartphone. Now, most of the time our instinct is to shoot like this, and it's fine. If you're shooting for Instagram, this is the interface, or this is the orientation that people use. But most of the time you want to be, video demands that you shoot like this. The other thing that video demands is a steady platform to shoot on, because you don't want your viewer to get seasick unless it's an action shot or something like that. So there's a few things. I'm going to start from the easiest things. Expect to pay not more than 70 Rand for something like this. It's a desktop tripod. You stick your phone in there. It comes with a little clamp that you adjust here, that your phone can fit into, and you leave it on your screen so that you have a steady picture. Remember, eye level is where you want to be. Also, look out for backgrounds. You don't want trees growing out of your head, because that distracts from your messaging. Also, if you want to go a bit more high end, this is a Manfrotto Action tripod. Again, it's made specifically for smartphones, and it's got a very easy to remove clamp there, and it can go the full spectrum, up and down, and however you want. This extends quite high up. And then, this is a little toy which I absolutely love. You can see it's got the housing for a smartphone, but this is called a gimbal. And I mean, for the older broadcasting people who went to the rugby, they would see a guy standing there with a Steadicam. This gives you that same effect. So if you're doing walking shots and if you want your stuff to be a lot more animated, this is the way to go. It also comes with the tripod kind of legs that you can stick on a desktop, but on the move, this thing is probably the most versatile for your smartphone. Now, the other thing that you want to invest in, and the smartphones are very high-end at the moment, but most of the time, if you don't use a proper microphone, it can sound quite tinny, like you're sitting in a Coke can while trying to tell people something, you know. So I'm going to start with my least favorite mic. All of these have purposes, but this is a voice-over mic. It's called a condenser mic, and you have to get quite close up to this microphone. Sometimes there's a diffuser that comes across here to kind of cut off the muffling. And if you're doing a voiceover, this is ideal to use. Also very cheap to get. I think I got this from Cash Crusaders. They sell them new. I think it's called, I'm not sure of the brand. Then this is my second favorite microphone. This is made by Boya, and this I bought from Takealot. And again, not expensive. It comes with a little clip that you can stick on a hot shoe to your camera or whatever mounting you've got for your smartphone. And like you can see, like with this camera, it's got the audio jack. Now don't worry if your phone doesn't support the audio jacks, because you can get quite cheaply an adapter that fits into either an iPhone or whatever Android phone you use. So this one has a little sock on it, and it's ideal for outdoor shooting when there's wind, because it cuts through the wind. So if you're doing something on the fly, say for example you're skateboarding or on your bike or you're driving, this is a very smart microphone because it will pick up your voice. My favorite microphone, however, it's also made by Boya and available at Takealot or shops like Orms, is the classic lapel, or I think it's called a lavalier mic, that you stick onto either your inside of your shirt or your lapel of your suit. Again, this has an extra long cable, so you can keep the camera as far away as possible. You get wireless ones as well. They're a bit more expensive, but they're really good. And again, the audio jack. So with that audio jack, I just want to stick with audio for a second. There are very cheap tools that you can get. So say for example, what you don't want to do is to film something and then afterwards discover that, hey, actually the mic wasn't connected properly. So you can get these jacks. One supports a headphone, the other your microphone, and that goes into your device. So you can have the best of both worlds. Listen while you're interviewing somebody, for example. The other thing that video demands is proper lighting. Nobody wants to look at your grainy dark videos. So this is a cheap LED light. It comes with a hot shoe that attaches to your smartphone mount, and it will give you hours and hours of fantastic LED light that will just light up either your face or your subject. And then I think I paid $50 for this. It's a Bluetooth phone shutter or camera shutter, and it either enables video recording from a distance or takes snaps for still images, and that's it. I mean, I think everything here won't cost you a lot of money, and you can get them, you can acquire them on the way. But if you're serious about marketing your wares or your services, please invest in sound, lighting, and stability. Catch you next week on Live and Loud. It was fantastic hanging out with you guys again.